All right, I know you guys were enjoying that jam, but we're ready with our next run.
100% was met, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
so
It will be a 100% run, yes. All right, Stream, if you can help us out, let us know what you think of the audio balance.
Hello, hello, hello. It's me again.
I am Swordsmankirby.
I would almost say, Swordsmankirby, you should turn your mic up.
Up, okay. Is that max, so I need to turn everything else down?
That might be a good too.
Alright, how's that?
Test 1, 2. Rename your turn.
Okay, hello. This is me talking once again.
Beautiful.
Alright.
Okay, so we'll see 100% Kirby's Adventure. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and count me down.
Alright. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Kirby's Adventure 100%, no major glitches. I'll get to the no major glitches in a bit. So right at the beginning, as with a lot of Kirby runs, there's a mix. I'm going to respawn this Waddle Doo so he's facing to the right, so that they walk towards each other. Oh shoot, I messed up. Uh-oh, this is not good. Alright, there we go. Alright, so when you inhale two enemies with the with an ability, so both those guys give you beam, a thing that starts, there's this thing called a mix that starts, and it shuffles through all the abilities in a fixed order really quickly, and you have a 4-frame window for stopping on the right ability. So in this case, I want Tornado because in this game, Tornado turns out to have really good movement. Like the max speed of Tornado is something like 150% faster or so than just running. And for the no major glitches category, so the two major glitches that are banned in this category, one's called the UFO glitch, perhaps inaccurately named, but allows you to keep UFO in between levels, essentially. That's really overpowered, and it really affects what the run looks like. And the other one is a stone glitch. And if you use stone underwater via like out of bounds and stuff like that, the game crashes, but if you pause at the right time, it sends you straight to the credits. So those two are the banned major glitches. We'll get to the less, the minor glitches, I guess, later. So the way that Tornado works is a little bit unintuitive as far as Kirby abilities goes. When you start it up, if you hold B, you start rising, and if you let go of B, you start falling. And Kirby's Adventure was this late NES title, and it tried to do like as much as it could with the NES's processor, and so as a result, the game is really laggy. And one common way of reducing lag is to defeat enemies. But at the same time, when you defeat enemies, Kirby sort of stops in place a little bit as you run into them with the tornado. And this is something that we call hit lag. And so it's kind of this, I like to call it like an optimization between two like conflicting constraints. On one hand, you don't want to kill too many enemies because you're just going to be racking up a lot of hit lag, but on the other hand, you need to kill some enemies, otherwise it's just going to lag a ton. So World 1 is pretty straightforward. You just pretty much run through the whole thing with Tornado. Gotta be a little bit careful here. This Waddle Doo right here has a bunch different things it can do. Luckily I got an easy one. So I think you can see the game lags quite a bit. And so this tornado is actually gonna stay with me all the way until the beginning of World 3. Before people started doing the tornado mix, I think the tornado mix was first done in a TAS in 2013, but people didn't incorporate it into runs until about 2015. I believe the first runner was this Japanese runner named Yubi, who was doing 100% no major glitches. Alright, so that's Wispy. All you do is pretty much just run into him with Tornado. Pretty simple strat there. And it's kind of unfortunate. So before people started doing Tornado mixes, there's a lot of interesting like movement involving like fire. I actually don't know the exact details, but this happened after the switch happened after I started running the game. But there's a lot of interesting. Oh man, whatever. I'm just gonna go without it. Interesting movement with powerless, just vanilla Kirby. And you would get Tornado normally here with this enemy. This is the first time you see it. But now all runs, any percent and 100% no major glitches involve this, like getting this Tornado mix and then keeping it for a really long time at the beginning of the run. It's kind of unfortunate that like it turns out to be like significantly faster. But I don't know. Sometimes it just happens.
Whenever you got a chance, I got a couple donations I can read.
Go ahead.
Okay. First off, we have a donation from Used Pizza again. Mario Party 3 starting its huge comeback right now with a whopping donation of $2.69. So Mario Party 3 is clawing its way back. Don't sleep on that. Keep your donations coming towards Mario Party 3. Then we have a donation from Red Shifter of $30 saying, first you draw underwear, then you dot the thighs. Wait, that's not right. Can you put this towards Curly's panties while I think this through? We can do that for you, Shifter. And then we have a $25 donation from Divebuster that just says King of the Hill, which I'm assuming is his nomination for Best Anime. So that puts King of the Hill in the lead with $25 and Inferno Cop at 5.
All right. So coming up is the first, I guess, minor glitch. It is an out of bounds. I just need to run over this tile and crouch at the right time. Oops. Okay. So once I crouch there, that one tile gap, I go out of bounds, and with some careful movement of Tornado, I can skip. It actually skips like a whole separate room. That sort of loops back to this one. That saves quite a bit of time. And there are some weird things about that glitch. For some reason, you need an ability that doesn't change Kirby's appearance. So, for example, if you had Sword, it wouldn't work. But if I have Tornado, it doesn't change Kirby's appearance. So somehow it works for that. I don't know. I have no idea why that is, but that's how it is. Probably something about subpixels. And this is considered a minor glitch, like in the previous run, Link to the Past. Out of bounds is considered a major glitch, but in this one, it's got a pretty local effect. Unlike the UFO and stone glitches, it pretty much only affects that level that you're doing. And so that's how I think of it, as a minor glitch. Ooh, whatever. That's a tricky mini-boss. I don't even do the correct strat there, but oh well. Alright, so I should mention something about sliding. In this game, anytime Kirby's on the ground, he'll start decelerating to running speed, but he will not decelerate in the air. So if you get like the max sliding speed, you slide like right at the edge of a cliff, you get that speed all in the air. And the way to preserve it a lot of times is to bunny hop. So every single frame you're touching the ground, you lose a little bit of that speed. And that mechanic is very different from a lot of other Kirby games where Kirby will decelerate in the air pretty much no matter what. I actually have no idea what the mini-bosses are called. They're sort of these nicknames. But I don't actually know like the official name for a lot of them. Oops. So I actually haven't mentioned what it is about 100%. So far, this is actually identical to an 80% run. Alright, in this room, I want to actually just puff all these blocks all the way up, because I just want to keep Tornado instead of switching to high jump. And it's really, really laggy, but it's still faster because of the mini-boss fight coming up next. And so, okay, so the thing about 100% is that there are these switches scattered across the worlds, starting in World 3. And you just need to hit all of them to get 100%. I'm going to hopefully not forget to do any of them. Well, nice running speed. Alright, so this is Paint Roller, or as some people call Paint Troller. Alright, so I screwed this up pretty badly. But unlike in the remake of this game, Nightmare in Dreamland, Paint Roller always goes from top left to top right at the very beginning. And so that fight, in theory, should be very consistent. Another difference between, like, I guess besides all the lag and glitches and stuff like that, between Kirby's Adventure and Nightmare in Dreamland is that in Kirby's Adventure you get to heal after each boss, and so really health is significantly less of an issue. Like easiest mini boss fight. No, actually, there's one that's easier. Alright, so here's a big switch right there. Would have been cool if I got another one tile gap clip. But oh well. All I need to do is press it. Some of them require just like finding the right exit. Others require actual abilities to break certain blocks or something like that. Some kind of obstacle to get to it. So that's the first one in this world. Alright, so coming up is where I finally get rid of Tornado. I swear, I promise that this run's not all Tornado. And actually 100% because of all the aforementioned abilities required to hit some of the switches. It actually features less Tornado than the 80% no major glitches category. Alright, here's another mix. And if I just let this one run out, eventually it slows down and just comes to complete stop. It makes like 1 and a fraction cycles through all the abilities. In this case, it stops on UFO. And I believe, I didn't test this early, but I'm pretty sure that it depends on the second or last enemy that you inhale, while most other Kirby games depend on the first enemy. So in this case, the enemy I'm targeting is Stone, and if I let that mix run out, it'll give me UFO. So I had UFO, that main boss went through really quickly, and noticed that I no longer have it. And in this game, UFO is just designed to be super overpowered and somewhat rare. So they don't let you keep it between levels. Alright, so this is high jump. It doesn't really look like it, but high jump actually moves a little bit quicker than simple running. And in this game, high jump can only be activated from the ground, but you can also cancel in air. And unlike Nightmare in Dreamland, this will come in later on, but canceling the high jump doesn't do any damage. Alright, so this is another one of these, what we call arenas, or I guess later on they were officially called Meta Knights. These minions. Kind of a bad name. In this, at the time of Kirby's Adventure, I believe Meta Knight didn't actually have a name. Alright, gonna quickly switch like that to keep my high jump. So, I don't know what he was referred to for this game. Essentially, all those enemies, they spawn in a certain order, like depending on which enemies you've already killed. So there's a certain route that you follow, like what order of these enemies you kill, to kill them all as quickly as possible. Alright, so keeping high jump here is actually very useful. Not only does it give us our speed boost, but it'll help us jump up to a higher platform later. I don't know what I'm doing. And here's a short little strat involving sword. So Bonkers is going to run up to me, I'm gonna take damage, combine for a double star, and then I'll instantly kill the boss. Bonkers, the health is just like a sliver higher than the damage of a double star, and so I needed that one slash at the very beginning. Now this is gonna be a little bit tricky. The goal is to keep Hammer all the way until the boss, so just completing this level here. Hammer is very, very fast for the boss, so hope I don't lose it. Hammer is just a fun ability to run with and like do these spins in the air. Alright, here's the second switch of this world. Not really that well hidden, but if you don't know the shape of how these blocks are going to block you, then it might be a little bit difficult. Alright. This sword knight right here is a big troll, so I'm just going to wait a little bit. Alright, seems like I'm going to get to the end with Hammer. Alright. This is Shine Bright with Hammer. It's really, really easy. Probably the easiest iteration of Shine Bright in any of the Kirby games. It's 3 simple hits. I want to be careful not to swing the hammer too early, otherwise I just get like a bunch of hit lag. Like it'll just like try to connect with this invulnerable enemy multiple times and just lag the game, not really do any damage. Alright, 4-1. It's gonna use a Sparky. The game has some like visual hints. I don't think I've seen in other Kirby games much. Alright, that guy didn't troll. Where Kirby will start flashing if the thing in his mouth will give him an ability. And he'll also turn orange if he's got an ability. Whoops, I kind of want that. Whatever, I'm just gonna go without it. Alright, since I can't keep UFO, I gotta get rid of it anyways, so I'm gonna grab Tornado right here. I want to say one thing about the goal game. So every single frame gives you a different animation. And the third frame that you can activate the gold game is like 2/3 of a second slower than any of the ones around it. And so really like you want to hit as early as possible, but that like mysterious third frame will just take longer, because what will end up happening is that there's levels like 7 through 1, and you want to hit like level 7 ideally because it's the closest to the ground. But if you hit that third frame, you get a ledge grab on level 6, and it takes like forever for Kirby to climb back up. Alright, I'm going to try to get these Poppy Bros. Oh, nope, didn't get it. In 2 cycles. But 3 cycles, not that bad. So in the previous world there were 2 switches, and now there's going to be 3 in this one. Just have to not forget it. Too afraid to use Tornado there. Whatever. Yeah, one big difference, not a big difference, but one difference again with this game in Nightmare in Dreamland is that you cannot attack the switches in Nightmare in Dreamland. But here you just saw me use a puff to take care of one of them. Oops. Yeah, Crash is scary. Crash Bomb is a scary enemy.
Whenever you got a chance to. I don't have a donation, but I got some stuff I can plug.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. Just another little update on a couple of our prizes and bid wars. Mega Man 8 to be played on Sega Saturn is still ahead with a pretty strong $99 lead, but there's still plenty of time to close that gap if you want to put your money towards PS1. And the final bonus game of Mario Party 2 is still ahead of Mario Party 3. Mario Party 2 is at $118.88, and Mario Party 3 is at $3.69. And for our prize for this block, it lasts roughly an hour. I believe that's about how much time we have left. If you donate at least $5 during this next stretch of time, you are entered for a chance to win Kirby's Adventure for the Famicom. And since that is a smaller time span, your chances of winning that are actually increased. So it's a good idea if you've got a donation you want to put in or save it. It's a good idea to put it in now because you do have a good chance to win that Kirby's Adventure Famicom copy. And also, since it's been a while and we have had new viewers, I'll just try to lightly go over what we're trying to do here with JRTA. It's a marathon, fundraising speedrun marathon to help bring Japanese runners to AGDQ. For in particular, Puar, Yamayu, Shoga, and Zaraki. And they do have runs in the marathon, so we are trying to raise money to bring them over. As you can imagine, coming from Japan to America is quite costly, so we're trying to do whatever we can to help them out. Puar and Yamayu are part of the Yoshi's Island race, and that race will feature four of the top four runners at that game currently, two of which are the two Japanese runners, and Shoka and Zaraki are in the Mega Man relay race. So we're just trying to raise some money to help get them over to participate in those runs and bring them to AGDQ because their cost is quite high, as you can imagine. And one more little bonus incentive. Best anime, King of the Hill is at $25, Inferno Cop is at $5. We need some more anime representation in here. Yeah, that's all. Keep those donations in mind. Thanks for watching and spread the word.
Alright, I messed up that arena fight pretty badly. Alright, so I was supposed to kill him in a certain order, but this third enemy that spawns in the middle can jump around in pretty weird ways. Alright, so that's what it's supposed to look like. I took a death before that. This room is really random. There are a lot of Bronto birds that drop down from the ceiling like that. Luckily I didn't... Oh, just kidding. I was about to say, luckily I didn't lose too much time trying to get my ability back. This is another laggy room with a lot of Gordos. I really need an ability at the start of the next level. Alright, controller switch. Alright, so I need to do another one of those one tile gap clips. There's no standard name for it. Crouch clip? I'm going to call it crouch clip. But, oh, first try. The issue with that one is that you need to get into running speed in that one tile gap, which can be tricky. Alright, I'm going to take this real slow because I don't want to lose my chance. Alright, so I have fire here, and... Oops. It's a lot better for killing this mini-boss than burning. I have no idea what I'm doing. So the whole gimmick with these dark stages is that there's an ability called Light, given by this thing called Cool Spook that you just saw me walk into. And it's kind of a little bit evil to have the actual thing you're looking for end up behind you after you get the light ability. But since we know where it is, we don't actually need to pick it up. Alright, so this is Krakow. Kind of a weird setup. You need to high jump all the way up just to fight it. And so most of these platforms are like pretty much the length of Kirby's high jump, but some of them are a little bit shorter, and it really helps to cancel your high jump. And so like I was saying, canceling the high jump doesn't do any damage, and so this fight lasts a longer than the fight in Nightmare and Dreamland, but luckily there's, I believe, less luck involved. And so about grabbing the Star Rod, you want to land like right in the middle of the screen so Kirby doesn't spend forever walking towards it. But depending on the boss fight, it could be kind of tricky sometimes. Alright. Another little bit of a tense moment here. I'm gonna take it slow here. Alright, good. So that was another mix. So about mixes, okay, Tornado, I wanted to get Tornado here, but the way that this game was originally routed was that a lot of mixes were either like at the end, like that UFO mix that you saw earlier, or at the beginning. So with the mixes that are the first power-up, what you can do is that you can just buffer like stopping the mix wheel, so you get really easily every single time. And so, for example, you might have seen me do like a mix for Fireball in the previous world. That's another example of a first like ability mix. Unfortunately for that one I just did, Tornado is second, and the Tornado at the very beginning was the third one, so the timing is ever so slightly different. Okay. Oh darn! I was trying to preserve my Tornado momentum into the water, and then you sort of just go flying through the water. Wait. Bonking into everything right now.
So I have a question for you.
Yep.
I'm curious because as somebody who runs a lot of Kirby games, what is your on this game as far as like how approachable do you think this game is for somebody who's looking to get into a Kirby game?
I think it's a really good choice. It's not. I would say it's not like there's like a lot of how should I word this? Like different levels of strats that you can go for.
So it's one of those games where like somebody that's relatively new to it could do safer strats, learn the game pretty quickly, and then kind of go from there.
Right, and I think it has a good balance of different movement options, and it has like a few nice little glitches as well. And there's actually not that much randomness compared to, I'd say, like most Kirby games, so that's always a plus. Alright, so the game wants you to get Wheel here, but Tornado's better. Like I said, kind of unfortunate that a lot of the movement is Tornado, but oh well. I just said that there's a good balance of movement. I think there are a lot of different interesting movement options in this game. Even just like vanilla Kirby is already pretty interesting in terms of stuff like preserving slide momentum and stuff like that.
And real quick, we got a donation in, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We got $60 from Gurglock that says, "Here's to getting some quality runners to AGDQ. Donation goes towards taking Princess Laura to the Dragon Lord in Dragon Quest." So with that, that incentive has been met. So let's see, our next incentive and the one after that, and Bomberman 64 Plan Hard, have been met. So the next incentive that needs to be met that everyone may or may not choose to donate towards, it's a pretty good one. It is Cave Story, Get Curly's Panties. We currently have 50 towards that, and we need 250 total. So we're $200 away from that. And that one is tomorrow, I believe. So we have plenty of time to get that one met. So keep those donations coming. And like I said, if you donate during these next 2 or 3 games, I believe, you are entered for a chance to win Kirby's Adventure, as long as you donate at least $5. And throughout the course of the week, as long as your donation totals reach a minimum of at least $25, you are entered for a chance at the grand prize, which is a Super Famicom complete with Super Donkey Kong 1, 2, and 3. So just keep those in mind when you are making your donations. Thank you very much for that donation.
Oops, whoops, forgot. Wanted to keep ball. Ball's pretty interesting. It allows you to preserve a lot of your speed, even when you're bouncing on the ground. Fortunately, I threw it away. Could have used it here. But I need to get rid of ball anyways. So, down here, a little bit of a puzzle. The first time you see these cannons, or first time you see me use these cannons, you high jump to break through those blocks, but fire to hit the switch in the first place. And one nice thing about fire, you're going to see this a little bit later on, is that when you inhale the ability, oops, it actually does the attack, so it saves a little bit of time. And you can also use it, a little bit of a spoiler for what's coming up ahead. You can even use it underwater. Whoops, just running into everything. Alright, so this is another kind of out of bounds. It's called the, I guess, like acute angle clip. Oops. So you can sort of go into... Wow. Wow, I'm really screwing this up right now. Go into these acute angle tiles and just sort of go through the whole thing. And that skips going through this building, which has a mini boss. Especially in 100%, it's not so great to fight it. But luckily we can just skip past it. And unlike the other clip, you don't actually need an ability for this.
Did you say acute or cute? Because this is a Kirby game.
Acute.
Oh, okay.
So here's a bunch of wheels, still not going to get it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix for hammer. And hammer is the first ability after wheel. So the starting position for the mix wheel, so the mix wheel is some abilities in some random order. And the starting point is actually the next ability on the mix wheel. So hammer always comes after wheel. And so when I inhaled those 2 wheel enemies, the first ability was hammer, so I just immediately stopped the mix. And I'm going to need this hammer actually for a little while. Here it's necessary, because I'm able to use hammer underwater. Most of the time with abilities you're just going to be puffing water, so you wouldn't be able to break those blocks. Kind of blows my mind that like that's actually what you're supposed to do. And I don't think there's like another way of doing it. Yeah, about like getting into this game, I think this is a really underran game. I think maybe the lag is a little bit of a turnoff.
Yeah, I can't quite figure out what it is. I've always felt like this game is kind of under.
Oh, sorry, you just got cut off there at the end.
Oh, did I? I was just saying, I feel like this game was always underappreciated a little bit.
Yeah, I think like casually this game is really, really good. So that was Heavy Mole. Heavy Mole is pretty random. But luckily hammer does a ton of damage to it. So I want to say that, I never tested this, but I want to say that if you do the hammer spin, you move faster horizontally in the water. Alright. Luckily I didn't need to do like an ugly backup for that. I was able to keep hammer the whole time. It's actually like not a good idea usually to mash for burning, or fireball in this case. I'm not really sure why, but it seems like when you really try to time it out, it seems to just work a lot better for some reason. I'm not sure if you're like getting locked out of doing inputs or something like that, but it seems better that way. Alright. So conveniently right here in this secret entrance here, there's a stone enemy. And that allows me to pretty much throw away hammer, get fireball for a little bit, and then get stone over here. And so there's one of those pegs that you can smash down on.
So you may have gone over it. I was running through some technical stuff earlier. But did you talk about what makes this 100% versus any?
Yeah, so there are these switches that I've been pressing. And so the number of switches per world has been increasing. And actually in World 6, the one I'm on right now, there's a switch in every single stage. And in any percent no major glitches, what you would do is that you would get Tornado earlier on in World 5, and then try to keep it pretty much almost until the end of World 6. But because you gotta hit all these switches, that's not really an option. Like for example, right here, I'm gonna switch to hammer. And I don't know, a lot of these hidden locations are just like, I feel like impossible to pick up on. And in the remake, Nightmare in Dreamland, whoa. Wow, I got... What? What? That really just happened. Alright. What do I even do? Can I go back? Okay, I can go back at least.
Scary.
No, I can't. Alright, gotta reset. What? That is unbelievable.
You hate to see something like that happen.
Yep. Alright, take two. Alright. I'm gonna take this real slow this time. Alright. So like I said, you can attack right at the beginning of your, like right when you inhale it. And it allows me to actually do the attack underwater. The intended way of doing that is actually to use laser to hit that fuse. But I think it turns out to be something like 6 seconds slower to use laser. Alright, finally, we're out of here. Basically, what happens is that I got knocked past the point of no return by an enemy.
By the way, we still have the prize giveaway during this run. If you donate at least $5, you will be entered to win a copy of this game for the Famicom. And right now, there aren't that many entrants, so your odds of winning are actually very good. You can help out our cause, and you can also potentially win a cool prize.
Alright, so that was one of the hardest out of bounds. If you go like just a little bit, you'll clip back in bounds, and depending where you clip back in, you could lose a ton of time. I just mentioned that you can soft lock on pretty much all these clips if you land on like the wrong tile. Some of them are like not visible, but sometimes you'll just like you could land on these wrong tiles and soft lock. And in this game, like a lot of Kirby games, you can't quit out of a level without like that you haven't beaten unless you reset. So in some cases, like you don't want to lose your ability or whatever. But sometimes you literally just get stuck and there's nothing you can do about it. Alright, now we're on 5.
Okay, we actually got a $5 donation from K-Rulius that says Mario Party Tree. So that brings that up to $8.69. Seems like Mario Party 2 got a pretty big burst at the beginning, but Mario Party 3 is getting consistent trickle of little donations in.
I still got time.
It's the classic tortoise versus the hare race here between Mario Party 2 and 3. I believe 3 will take it over in the end. Let's keep it up.
Alright, this one's a little bit tight on timing with this fuse, but luckily I got it. So there are 2 ways of going out of bounds. I should mention that I believe there are 5 known ways of going out of bounds. One of them is this sub-pixel frame perfect thing, like where you can clip on a slope. That's used actually in the any percent, like the run using the stone glitch uses that kind of clip. And just a really, really bad trick. Sucks that it was discovered, but oh well. So right here I'm going to use UFO to break through the ice. Convenient to have that ability there. In Nightmare and Dreamland, there are a couple ways that people do that a little bit differently. Whoops. But unfortunately, like for example, like they get a double star and break those blocks. Whoops, what am I doing? I should just keep... Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I'm gonna reset.
Sound good. Just a reminder, in addition to the $5 Kirby donation going on now, as long as throughout the course of the week your donation total is at least a minimum of $25, you are entered for our grand prize of a Super Famicom complete system with Super Donkey Kong 1, 2, and 3.
I keep accidentally entering the door. UFO movement is kind of strange. And so the reason why I reset just then was because UFOs, once they disappear, either like they go off screen or you kill them, they disappear forever until you reset the game. That's why it's reset. And UFO, as you saw, is like really useful for that mini boss fight. just general horizontal movement, and also this arena right here. And so UFO, there's actually 4 different attacks, depending on how long you hold down the charge. If you don't charge it at all, it's like the same as the beam attack. If you charge it a little bit, it's laser. If you charge it a little bit more, it's a star. And if you charge it even longer, it's a double star. This is Meta Knight, crappiest boss ever. I need to hopefully not die. This pretends to be a fair fight, but Meta Knight has way more health than me. Oh, he's so nice, and he's gonna duel you with the sword. Okay, this is bad. Okay, whew. Alright. But he has way more health, can block your attacks, etc, etc, etc. Luckily I didn't die. A strat that people would sometimes do is that they would reset right before that, just to give themselves full health. So I had to risk it a little bit because I had lost a lot of time already, but luckily I didn't die. Alright. So right here I just essentially manufactured this 1 tile gap. I'm gonna clip with it. And I don't even know the right way of doing this without glitches, so I'm just a dirty cheater.
Hey man, it looks cool. That's all that matters.
Now I'm gonna get ice and just try to run through all these enemies here. Yeah, switch is save. I forgot. I just wanted to be like doubly sure about it. I should have just checked the overworld. So these switches will unlock things that are visible in like the level selects world thing. So I should have just checked that. Alright, so this is 7-2, an annoying level. You have to fight each of these mini bosses, and luckily Bonkers is the first one. We can use hammer for the rest of it. So at the very beginning, there's like a secret entrance that skips like almost half of the mini bosses. Right, so the first thing I wanted them to charge at me and stun themselves. This is Fire Lion. I want Fire Lion to jump in the air like this, and so I can drop down and do a few hammer attacks. That wasn't so bad. Didn't take damage. I should mention that the mini-boss behavior is a little bit different in those fights than like the previous times we saw them. Like for example, the turtle that rolls at you will always roll into the wall, I believe. And Bonkers will actually when it does its first attack, will actually get closer to you. And so, wow. I'm gonna try to keep hammer. It's nice for this area. People used to use burning, like Fire Lion gives burning. Wow, what am I doing? But it turns out to be faster to be able to clear out all these enemies with high jump. Oh, not high jump, hammer. This room is a little bit scary. I didn't really mention like moving on slopes, but it's really bad to go uphill on a slope. And another thing about that place is that, like with the acute angle clip, you can actually easily soft lock and clip into those blocks without a way out. Alright, luckily I got through this without dying. Alright, go fade out. And reset. Alright, so in this room, all these ball enemies are random. These pig enemies are random. I think these are, even in this version, they're pigs. I don't know. But they're very clearly pigs in Nightmare in Dreamland. But this one's not random at all. Whoops. I want to get one of these flamers. Gives fireball. This is a really tricky room. The spacing on fireball, nice despawn, is like just inconvenient for going through those bomb blocks. It's really easy to take damage and lose your ability. Yeah, sometimes there are too many sprites. Enemies will just despawn. And there aren't really very many consistent ways of doing it. I had one chance earlier, but I messed it up. Alright, great thing about Kirby's Adventure is that that mini-boss has slightly... Crash is able to kill it in just one hit. In Nightmare in Dreamland, Crash gets almost all the way, which is really annoying. Alright, after all that, get Fireball again. Yeah, all went pretty smoothly. Alright, now we're on 7-6. It's like getting 2 games in one. So this is supposed to look like Kirby's Dreamland 1. Sort of play through abbreviated versions of these levels. And one big difference in movement between this game and Nightmare in Dreamland. Excuse me? Okay, good. I still got it back. Is that you would do this with wheel. But wheel in this game, it's used in literally just like one room. And it's never touched again.
You mind if I talk about some incentives real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Just because they haven't been talked about too much yet, I'll go over the file names and character names we are able to donate towards. Donkey Kong Country 3 is the only one with a donation thus far, and the name is Water with a $10 total. But then after that, we have Poppin' Twinbee Rainbow Bell Adventure, a fantastic game, and that is also for the file name, a 10-letter maximum on that one. Then later on, we have Twilight Princess, Link's name, 8-character maximum on that, and then Epona's name, 8-character maximum on that. Let's see. Then, of course, we have the anime going on for the remainder of the marathon. King of the Hills at 25, Inferno Cop is 5. And just a reminder, I mean, every donation definitely counts towards what we're trying to raise money for here. Even if you donate as low as $5, that does help us out a lot, and that enters you a chance to win various prizes depending on when you donate. Currently, if you donate during this block, lasting through Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, you are entered for a chance to win Kirby's Adventure for Famicom. And let's see, then after that, during the Dragon Quest, or when that starts off, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 for SFC will be up for that as well. So don't hesitate to donate if you think you're donating too little, because not only does it help, you're actually entered for a chance to win some pretty good prizes for that as well. And just check out the incentives list when you donate to see what you want to put your money towards. And if anything, just put it towards your favorite anime or Mario Party 3, because it needs some help right now.
Alright, so you just saw a DD fight. It's actually pretty precise. You need to use ball right at the edge of DD's hitbox. And the worst thing is that his hitbox actually changes depending on what attack he's doing. But luckily I didn't take damage at all in that fight. Nightmare, like both the orb and the actual Nightmare fight, it's pretty much the same pattern. sometimes with like small variations. And so luckily that fight went pretty well. Didn't take too much damage. And now I'm on to Nightmare, the final boss. Alright, so really the only variation is where Nightmare will first like pop up in each phase. So here he's a little bit to the right. It's fine. Alright. So ideally you want him to move as little as possible. So it's 3 hits. Time's coming up soon. 4 hits. Alright, so this next one, he's gonna dance around a little bit and spawn at the ceiling. And this one's probably the tightest hit of the 5. Alright, that was good. And game. And time. Alright. Yeah, so pretty much all of his attacks are the same with slight differences. Yeah. Whoops. Why did I pause? Alright, so that was Kirby's Venture. I think I got 100%. I don't actually find out. 54, 54. Alright,
That's what I've got, yeah.
That's underestimate. Alright. That was
Nice.
that was a run. But I don't actually find out if I got 100% until after the end of the credits. Thanks for the GGs, everyone.
Yeah, nice job. And actually, I think you might be one of the busier people in this marathon too, because I think we're going to be seeing you a couple times, right?
Yeah, a few more Kirby games later on in the marathon.
Yeah, I think Kirby 64 is tomorrow, and then
Amazing.
we've got actually 2 more Kirby games on Sunday too. Actually, it's
Yeah.
not just one. So
I'll be in the Amazing Mirror race with Local Mocal, and then he'll be doing Superstar Ultra, Mad Nightmare Ultra right after that on Sunday afternoon EST.
sounds good. Yeah, plenty of Kirby this marathon.
Well, Ramses, if you want, I can list off some of the hot bid wars we got going on if we got time.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and update us on how some of those are going?
Okay. Since you asked, Ramses, we have a bid war going on between Mega Man 8, play on Sega Saturn or PS1. Saturn is ahead with 100. PS1 is lagging behind with $1 still, unfortunately. That one does need some attention. And then we have the big finale bonus game, Mario Party 2, with $118.88. Very nice number there. And Mario Party 3 is the other option for that bid war with $8.69. Also a great number. Let's see here. And then Anime, King of the Hills at 25. Inferno Cop is at 5. And then aside from those bid wars, the next incentive we have to meet is Cave Story, Get Curly's Panties. We are 200 away from meeting that, but we have plenty of time to meet that one. But I'm sure to get those donations in. Oh, actually, I do have a donation here. $10 from Jan, who says that. Somebody can read that for me. What is that, Gambare? Is that it? I don't know.
Oh, I stepped away for a second. Hold on, let me see it.
Okay. I think it's gone at the beginning.
Gone by? I think it's missing the R, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that donation. Anything specific you would like that to go towards, Jan? Holy moly, you want to read that donation?
What do we got?
It's a big one.
Oh my good golly gosh. I'm going to read this on my good microphone. Hold on.
Okay. Busting out the good mic for this one. Hold on, folks. Busting out the good mic for this one. Hold on, folks.
So, hello, stream. We have a donation here that I'm going to read, and the Discord won't be able to hear me, so I got to tell them. Hold on. You guys aren't going to be able to hear me. You guys aren't going to be able to hear me. Tune into the stream. Me. Okay. So tune into the stream.
Okay, I'm here.
Here we go. All right, now that we got the echo going on the stream, that's great. We have the anonymous donation of the marathon, $2,000, and the comment is, "Do the thing." There it is. $2,000 from anonymous. Do the thing. Year after year, we do the thing thanks to donors just like you. Thank you very much. I think it's official. I think JRTA is back.
JRTA is back, baby. Baby.
All right.
2,000 big ones. Woo.
All right.
2,000 big ones. Woo.
On that note, I think actually, Swordsmankirby, thank you so much. On that note, I think actually, we're free to go. Swordsmankirby, thank you so much. And we'll see you here tomorrow. We're free to go. And
all right,
we'll
thanks
see
for
you here
having
tomorrow.
me. All right,
you're welcome.
I just got another donation slid in here.
Hold on just a second.
Another donation slid in here from.
Hold on just a second.
Okay. Okay, they should be able to hear you still. Okay. Okay. We also got an additional donation that just slid in here from Ramses88. Donated $112, saying, "Used girl. Put this towards Mario Party 3." So that officially puts Mario Party 3 in the lead with $120.69 over Mario Party 2's $118.88. So there we go. It's a fight now, folks. All right. We'll be setting up for the next run. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.